What is good, ladies and gentlemen? We are back and better than ever, as people might say. It is your boy Big Sin. I am joined by the homie Hollywood J-Blaq. How you doing, fam?
It's been a long time coming. I shouldn't have left you without some dope videos to step to. That's how I'm feeling today.
Steps to step two. What?
It's been a little bit. It's been a little bit over a month. We had to let the Super Bowl victory simmer because when it happened, I was at work. I was hyped off of it,
and I was having a heart attack.
Yeah. See, I was believing more than you were. I said they gave Tom Brady some leeway, but we're gonna talk about that in a minute. But yeah, man, single-handedly the greatest. This culminated in one of the greatest years in sports history, 2016. Out of all the bullshit that has happened in 2016, this year has been one of the greatest when it comes to competitive sports. Regardless of how you feel about certain political stances or whatever the case may be, the fact that the Cavaliers came back down 3-1, the Cubs came back down 3-1, and the Patriots came back from 28 points down.
With 2 minutes and 34 seconds left to go in the third quarter, the Atlanta Falcons were up 31-3.
Yes. It was looking horrible. It was starting to look like that beating that the Niners gave Denver way back in the day, that 55-10.
Or for people in this generation who actually remember stuff, what Seattle did to Denver about 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, it started to look that bad. But my whole thing is that I always say 5 words: never count out Tom Brady. It felt like a Rocky fight. It felt like watching Rocky 4 all over again. They were taking him hits. You know what I'm saying? Drago was beating the crap out of him, and then all of a sudden the Falcons got tired. All of a sudden, Drago got tired, and Rocky came back and whooped that ass. That's exactly what happened.
All right, so I put it on Facebook a couple of days after the Super Bowl. I'm going to say it right here. Here's what happened to the Atlanta Falcons. If you watch that game, watch it closely. I've watched it probably 3 or 4 times, and very closely you can see their defense in the first 2 quarters was flying around like bats out of hell.
Yep.
They were everywhere across the field. There's no way in hell, with as fast as their offense was going, that their defense was not going to wear down.
True.
Kyle Shanahan, who just so happens to be your new head coach,
yes,
decided, fuck it, we don't need a running game. Even though our running game is doing good against the Patriots, we're just going to throw the ball downfield.
Yes, their game plan, whatever happened midway through the third quarter, their game plan completely changed. And you did what you're not supposed to do. They rested on their laurels. You're supposed to run the ball and consistently play good defense. They stopped running the ball, and they stopped playing consistently good defense.
And the reason they stopped playing consistently good defense is because they were expecting that, like in 2006, like the Giants did to Tom Brady, knocking him around and beating the shit out of him was going to get into his head. This was a different Tom Brady than we've ever seen on the field before. There was no emotion. He was just cold and calculated all the way up until the end.
Yes. I mean, we've seen everything. We've seen, of course, all the great Patriot things in this game, too. So we've seen a Tom Brady scramble. We've seen a Tom Brady dive. We saw a crazy Edelman catch. We saw Malcolm Mitchell do his thing. We saw.
Wait, how about that kind of catch coming off the heels of a catch that fucking Julio Jones made on the sideline?
Oh yes,
which damn near locked up the game for the Falcons, but no, they kept trying to pass the ball.
Yeah, exactly. That's what tripped me out. When I saw that pass, I almost wanted to give in and be like, "Nah, this is over. I think this is over." The Falcons won it too bad. But then, when they kept making those same mistakes, trying to keep passing the ball, I was like, "Nah."
Then Dante, New England, you better pay that man Hightower. Chased down Matt Ryan for 2 consecutive sacks, taking them out of field goal range.
Yeah, Dante Hightower can be that defensive leader that Teddy Bruschi was back in the day. I think that you really got to pay that man. Your 2 highest paid people on your offense should be Tom Brady. On one offense, one on defense should be Tom Brady It should be Dante Hightower.
Well, Tom Brady's the 25th lowest paid quarterback in the league, so that ain't going to happen.
Yeah, I know that, but bonus incentives, advertising contracts.
Mike Lennon is making more in his contract than Tom Brady.
Creative budgeting, sir. you probably put it this way: unbeknownst to us, Tom Brady is probably the CFO of Kraft Paper, getting paid his NFL contract.
Don't be throwing out more conspiracy theories, okay? We don't need that shit right now, all right, buddy?
Oh.
Okay, so anyway, what happened? What turns around for the Patriots is at halftime, the Patriots defense started to show up.
Yep.
And not until a couple minutes left in the third did the offense start to show up.
Yep.
When the offense started to show up, even Mohamed Sanu, who was playing against the Patriots once a year as a part of Cincinnati, walked over to Kyle Shanahan and said, "We're in trouble."
Yeah. Yeah. And if you hear the conversation right before the end of the second quarter, when they were up, was it 21-3 at the time?
Yeah.
Mohamed Sanu had a conversation with Julio Jones and told him that we can't count these out. We got to keep counting on them, because if we don't, there's gonna be a problem. And sure enough, Mohamed Sanu's statement came true when he went up to Shanahan in the third quarter and said, "We're in trouble."
And Shanahan laughed at him.
Yeah.
And then that dumbass corner who intercepted the ball and took it back for a touchdown in the second half tweeted out that he just picked off Tom Brady and locked up the Super Bowl. No, sir. No, you didn't.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Anyway, the Patriots did Patriot things for a quarter and won the Super Bowl in overtime.
Yes.
The first overtime in NFL Super Bowl history.
And you have to hand it to James White, though, because
that dude, he played his ass off.
Yeah. Yeah. He was the running game. I mean, Blunt had some shine here and there.
Yeah, Blunt started showing up in the second half, which Blunt usually does.
Yeah. Well, the whole thing is that when Deion Lewis hurt his knee towards the end of OT, not OT, towards the end of the fourth quarter, in that last crazy play that they tried to pull off, which they would have pulled off with just one more block is all they did.
Yeah, if his leg didn't give out onto him, yeah.
Yeah. But just imagine if the Super Bowl would have ended on that crazy play. But anyway, I think that drive with Tom Brady, and I looked at the drive and I saw that look in Tom Brady's eyes. He had no emotion. He had like cold, stone emotion. And I thought to myself, he's going for the touchdown. He's not going to kick a field goal. Everybody talks about Vinatieri and shit back when they beat the Rams and shit. I said, no, he is not going for a field goal. He is going to score a fucking touchdown if he has to do it his damn self.
Yeah, and even Falcons players after the game were saying, after the coin toss when the Patriots got the ball, they even said, "It's over. We're not stopping him." Yeah.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, the offense was professional. There was only like one incomplete pass that entire drive. Mm-hmm. Savage. Savage Tom Brady is the best Tom Brady ever.
Tom Brady threw for 441 yards, 64 pass attempts.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he turns 40 in about a month or two.
Yeah. And everybody that was relevant on the Patriots scored a touchdown.
Yeah. Including Mr. Always Open, Chris Hogan.
Yes.
How is he always open? That is the question everybody should be asking themselves.
I think the reason is that people really underestimate him in single coverage. I mean, he's a burner. He's a true burner. Like let's be honest with ourselves here for a second. The man, he's very shifty. He has that middle height, that 6'2", 6'3" height. He has that shifty speed, and he has that what's the word I'm looking for? I want to say deceptive. He's very deceptive in his football play. Like you think you're gonna get one dude, the next thing you know, he's behind you and he's scoring a touchdown, and you're like, what the hell happened?
Right? I'm glad that dude came to New England. He really shined in his role.
Yeah. Yeah. And the best part about this now, you know, we'll touch on to this is that, I mean, he's going to be good regardless of where he goes now. He's already proven his talent, but he's going to be good for the years to come. Young dude, he's going to be great. This is probably this coming up Patriots team is probably going to be one of the best in a while.
And the thing people need to realize is we're going to talk about the moves the Patriots and all the other teams are making right now. But the scariest part about this Patriots team is they did it without their best offensive weapon.
Yeah, it's scary, right? That should put the fear of God in somebody's eyes. Imagine
Gronkowski did not play in 8 games this year.
Yeah, imagine if Gronk did play. the Falcons wouldn't even have a linebacker to stop Gronk.
No.
You only have one good linebacker over there. That would have been really bad. So,
all right, so now we got the Patriots, 5-time champions. Tom Brady, the only player in NFL history to win 5 Super Bowls with the same team. He's the second player to win 5. The other dude did it on 2 teams. Bill Belichick, same thing. NFL record, 5 Super Bowl wins.
Yep.
They've been in 9 Super Bowls now.
Yep.
And in my opinion, probably the class of the NFL.
Yeah. We always talk about this. I mean, there is no, right now, period, point blank period, there is no better coach than Bill Belichick. There is no better quarterback in the NFL than Tom Brady. I mean, everybody want to talk about stats and intangibles and stuff like that. Stats don't get you anywhere. Leadership does. And the fact that Tom Brady can do what he does consistently. And there's one thing that people have never been able to say about Tom Brady is that he's inconsistent. Tom Brady is about as consistent as it gets. You know you have to give Tom Brady hell for him to not be good in a game. It's just what it is. Expect him to go for 275, 300 plus every single game. Expect Bill Belichick to put it on you both offensively and defensively, and not only out-coach you but out-scheme you. You know, that's that, and that people don't realize what out-scheming versus out-coaching is. Out-coaching is one way where you can predict players, you know, where somebody's going to be at, and then you have a counterplay. Out-scheming is that your offensive sets and who you put in there is better than the opposite team sets and who they put in there. There's nobody better in it than Bill Belichick.
And this is where I honestly have an issue with Skip Bayless.
Yes.
Okay? Because he came out and said Bill Belichick's one of the worst postseason coaches in NFL history.
That's even worse to say. That's horrible to say because you got to look at it like this. Nobody consistently gets there like Bill Belichick. Nobody. And I think at some point, Aaron Rodgers hasn't been to the playoffs a few times in his career. And I don't know what people expect. They want people to not get to the playoffs and not go to the playoffs if you're going to go to the playoffs and lose. I mean, let's go 6-10. Let's go 7-9, right? No, this is not how it works. This is the NFL. You play to win the Super Bowl. If you're not playing to win the Super Bowl, you're doing a shitty job.
That's right. So, all right, let's move on to what has been the crazy NFL free agency real quick.
Oh, yes.
We're going to start on the day it started, Thursday, which came out like a house of fire. And we'll go with some of the big transactions that happened on Thursday. We have the Philadelphia Eagles making quite the splash as they signed Torrey Smith and Alshon Jeffrey.
Yes.
And they also shored up their offensive line with Chance Womack and got rid of Connor Barwin. Connor Barwin has played solid football for them the last few years. It's kind of weird that they let him go.
Yeah, I heard that because he's on the downturn of his career. The one thing I hate when people talk about the downturn of somebody's career is like, dude, do you know what will happen if you let that person go? I mean, you put him in the right scheme where he only has to do be on the field 2-3 plays a drive. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, he can do like the Chris Long role last year in New England.
Yeah, Yeah. I mean, you see it worked out well for the Patriots. Imagine what a guy would do like that for a team that's competing and just needs a piece or two in there that comes in and fills the rotation to make sure that everything's good. Like, you just don't let dudes like that. You make the dude become that on your team. You don't let somebody else do that for their team.
You know? The good thing Philadelphia is showing that they're trying to do is give Wentz some weapons with Alshon Jeffrey and Torrey Smith.
Yeah.
They should both flourish in that system over there.
Yeah.
Now we're going to move on to the first thing the Patriots did this offseason is they traded a draft pick for Dwayne Allen, the tight end of the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah.
He's basically a young Martellus Bennett.
Well, the thing with Dwayne Allen, he came on the scene really fast. Fast to the point to where they weren't expecting him to be as good as he was. Remember, down in Indianapolis, they have Kobe Fleener, who they drafted when they also drafted Aaron Luck. Andrew Luck. And so they had to build that relationship. Dwayne Allen came out and proved that he was way better. So I guess you strike while the iron's hot.
And I think one of the factors in this is when them accusing Tom Brady of doing shit, Dwayne Allen was the guy on the Colts who said no. It makes no damn sense to accuse him of this.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know, boy. You got the Patriots. They're gonna have Gronk and Dwayne Allen,
along with Williams and that other kid that they have.
Yeah.
Why do people cover that offense, especially when we get to one of the next people that they picked up here to me?
Well, and we'll talk about that. And I have a question for the rest of the league when we talk about this dude. So,
all right, now let's move on to the Cleveland Browns, where they did a very smart thing. They traded for Brock Osweiler with the intent to cut him.
Yes, I mean they had all that cap space, and they weren't going to get anybody, even if you factor in free agents, that they weren't going to be able to get anybody to fill those spots. To fill the minimum cap number. So if you blow $16 million on cap that you weren't going to use anyway, and that you're probably going to get fined $30 million for, you might as well use it.
And in the meantime, they also cut Robert Griffin III.
Yeah,
we knew that with no quarterback, to be honest with you.
I mean, sad when he's the man that won him your only game last year.
I mean, they're still trying to send packages to New England for Garoppolo, but New England, I believe, has made it clear that Garoppolo's staying.
Yeah, I think they're going to sign Garoppolo. They're probably going to franchise him next year, and they're just going to keep franchising him until Tom Brady decides what he wants to do.
Then we also have the news of, thank God, Chicago, you finally did something right. You cut Jay Cutler. We're coming a mile away.
Well, yeah, we knew it was going to happen. I mean, I think one person said, I think one person said this on a blog. He said, I have never seen one person have so much potential, yet be a complete waste of talent in the mold that Jay Cutler is. Dude has an arm for days. He's a hell of a quarterback when he's motivated.
My pinky hurts. I can't play.
Yeah. I just don't can or ever will be motivated.
I think, right now, from what I was reading, the Jets have severe interest in him. So you go ahead and do that, New York. Go ahead.
Yeah.
You just lost your biggest target to your in-state team, to the Giants. But, yeah, go ahead and sign Jay Cutler and give him nothing to work with.
Yeah, that's what I don't get. I'm like, if you sign Jay Cutler and you have nobody to throw to, what the hell are you doing?
Especially, if you were planning on signing Jay Cutler, wouldn't you want to keep one of his favorite targets of his career around?
That'd be nice, right?
And Brandon Marshall?
That'd be nice.
When they were in Chicago together, they had some good years.
They'd be nice. That would be nice, right? I think the Jets are going to low-key make a run at Colin Kaepernick, which is something that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But I think that's kind of where it goes because the way that their offense is, they need to get younger. They need to get faster.
Yeah.
They have no speed on their offense whatsoever. Colin Kaepernick will change that very fast.
So let's move over to the Redskins, who made some moves. They signed DJ Swearinger and Terrell Pryor.
Oh yes, that was a good one. The Terrell Pryor one was a good one because.
But was it even losing Deshaun Jackson?
They got a better receiver though, in my opinion. I'm not saying that Deshaun Jackson isn't good. Far from it. I think he's easily a top 10, top 15 receiver. But Terrell Pryor is better as a whole. He's in that Josh Gordon role with the speed, where he's got hands of pillows and speed for days. Deshaun Jackson had speed for days and above average hands. I mean, this is going to be it's a win to me to have Terrell Pryor.
So the next one we're going to talk about, they work in conjunction with each other. We have the New England Patriots signing Pro Bowler Stephon Gilmore at corner, while former New England Patriots corner Logan Ryan went to go play with Devin McCourty's twin brother down in Tennessee.
Tennessee is starting to become Patriots-like. They're building that team slowly based off of hard workers and Patriots and former Patriots players.
Looking at us. And now we got the Los Angeles Chargers. I remember they moved to LA, even nobody's talking about it no more. Signed, I think, a decent offensive lineman in Russell will come to try and help Phillip Rivers out a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
And we got the Indianapolis Colts signed Jabal Sheard away from New England.
Oh, wow.
Okay, the Chicago Bears, they signed Mike Glennon to a $18 million contract for God knows what reason.
Oh, because they care. I mean, hell, they could have had Colin Kaepernick for cheaper, but no.
No, we want Mike Glennon. He's the future.
Yes, what is this Mike Glennon hype? I've never heard of it.
Nobody ever.
I'm like, did nobody see this man play 2 years ago before they drafted Jameis Winston?
Right? Okay, so now we're going to talk about what turned the NFL upside down yesterday. Or was it 2 days ago? No,
Yeah.
yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. The New England Patriots sent a first-round pick and a second-round pick to the New Orleans Saints for Brandon Cooks.
Yes. It was the trade that shook NFL free agency and brought it to its knees, brother. I don't even have words for this.
Now, let's put something into perspective here for people. With this Patriots team has the ability to look like next year. At running back, we don't know if LeGarrette Blount will be back. You got James White, Deion Lewis, Brandon Bolden. Then at wide receiver, you have the wide receiving core of Brandon Cooks, Julian Edelman, Chris Hogan, Danny Amendola, the dude from Arizona if they decide to re-sign him, and Mitchell.
Yep.
Then you have the tight ends, Dwayne Allen and Rob Gronkowski.
Well, here's the thing. The one thing that you've always expected about the Patriots is that you never know what set of receivers are going to hit the field at any given time, especially this past year, because you knew that Malcolm Mitchell and either Amendola or Edelman were going to be out there. Chris Hogan then got involved. They start running sets with what's the name? Martellus Bennett in at the slot. Now you have a legitimate number one receiver.
Now you have burners on both sides of the field if you want to line them up like that. You got Brandon Cooks and Chris Hogan. Then you got to worry about the underneath stuff with Edelman and Amendola.
That's what I'm saying.
And let's not count out Gronk.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they literally made the splash of the AFC. I mean, whether it translates into the Super Bowl, Tom Brady's going to always find a way to try and make it happen. But the Patriots once again became the kings of the AFC.
So okay, here's my question for you. Who's got the best receiving core now? You got the Patriots, what I just listed. You got the Giants for Odell Beckham and now Brandon Marshall. You got I can't remember what other dominant ones there are. Julio Jones and that rookie they have down there.
Gabriel.
Who's got the best receiving core?
If we're going to go receiving cores, as far as receivers that can actually catch the football, you're going to have to give it to the Patriots. Because remember, that would have to include Rob Gronkowski. It would have to include Dwayne Allen as we're catching football. Deion Lewis still has hands the last time I could check.
And James White did catch 14 balls in the Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, the Patriots have the most complete passing game in the NFL. If we're talking about just receivers based off of stats, I mean, you'd have to go with Beckham and Marshall, but I don't think they'll still be able to pull up numbers like on paper, as on paper would look.
Yeah.
Because the Giants still don't have a running game. They still don't have a really decent tight end to deflect things. It's not good.
Well, for only the second time in his career, Brandon Marshall will be playing with a halfway decent quarterback.
Yes, but also in the second time of Tom Brady's career, he's playing with an all-pro receiver.
I mean, there must be a reason why Bill Belichick donated his 5 rings both to charity and Bart won and called it 7 rings. Because once again, while the rest of the NFL is playing checkers, Bill Belichick is playing 3D chess.
Yes, 3D chess. Not just regular fucking chess. 3D fucking chess.
So now let's talk. Okay, we talked about the Patriots a lot. Let's talk about your boys. The aggressive moves that John Lynch has made since becoming the general manager of the San Francisco 49ers.
Yes. John Lynch he stated before free agency started, he said, stay tuned, we're going to be real busy. That was then followed by a tweet from Joe Staley that said, for any potential free agents thinking about the 49ers, just want to let you know it's 70 degrees and sunny here in February. Well, sunny here in March. Subsequently, now we have 2 quarterbacks on our roster when we didn't have any. We have a new receiver, a new number 1 receiver, Marquise Goodwin. We have some defensive pieces. Things are going to get interesting in San Francisco, I feel. I believe that Shanahan found a winning recipe on what it takes to run a decent offense, and that's speed. And that worked for the Falcons, and I think it's going to work for the 49ers in this case. They're consistently getting speed, guys. They still have a draft to come up with. Things are going to get crazy. I love John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan and what they're doing. I'm also I'm excited and afraid at the same time. Excited for what the future will hold. Well, afraid for what the future will hold. Excited about what's going on right now.
Yeah, we got it. We will be here sporadically with the NFL videos during the offseason.
Of course.
And again, during the season, the newly named NFL Blitz with Sin and J-Blaq. We'll be here with you again.
Yes, we got I think the next one we're gonna do what we should do. We're gonna do the draft. We're gonna pregame for the draft. Draft is at the end of April, right?
Yeah.
So we're gonna pregame for the draft. We're gonna talk about we're gonna be the Mel Kiper the third and Mel Kiper the fourth. We're gonna analyze draft picks. Well, this is what we're gonna do. So over the next few weeks, we're gonna talk about running backs, wide receivers, and then right before the draft, we're going to talk about quarterbacks. Because we always know the quarterback is the most, the best position, the most important position in the NFL. Some really good quarterbacks are coming. Some really good defensive players that are coming too. Running backs, this is actually a really decent running back class coming out. I mean, hell, Leonard Fournette is in the damn draft.
And Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, and who has impressed everyone, unless you were looking at bench presses and then you weren't impressed at all.
Which is fine.
just imagine bench presses get McCaffrey slipped down to the third round, and oh hey, welcome to New England, Christian McCaffrey.
Right. That's what I'm hoping for. Or I'm hoping New England's like, okay, Cleveland, we'll take that number 12 pick. Here's Jimmy, and they take Christian McCaffrey number 12 overall.
Oh Lord.
He would be the perfect player for their system.
Oh yeah, just imagine James White, if LeGarrette Blount comes back, and then Christian McCaffrey and Deion
Lewis.
Nasty. It's nasty.
Yeah. But and later on tonight we will be back with a wrestling video.
Of course.
Mr. Black is going to dinner with his wife and mother-in-law, so
yes, it's
he's got back out of here.
The happy 38th to the wonderful wife. Tomorrow.
And a little side note for the wrestling video. I was just looking online.
Yes.
Asuka showed up in Madison Square Garden and wrestled Alexa Bliss.
Oh shit.
Which probably means during NXT TakeOver Orlando, she's dropping the title and she'll be involved in that Alexa Bliss versus everybody match.
Just imagine if Alexa Bliss, you could easily set this up too. Have Alexa Bliss show up to NXT TakeOver.
Cost Asuka the match.
Yep.
But we will get into that on the wrestling video.
Oh yes, of course.
Little teaser. We have to talk about WrestleMania and the way they're building it up because I know there's a lot of controversy about what's going on. Oh, another little teaser I'm going to drop for people about the wrestling video. This week in Buffalo, we had a tremendous 6-man tag team match featuring Samoa Joe, Triple H, and Kevin Owens against Chris Jericho, Sami Zayn, and the return of Finn Balor.
Yes.
Anyway, any last words to the people?
You know how we always do around this time, my friend. What you gotta do, if you like what we're talking about and you like what we're spitting, you gotta take that little red button that's to the left, and then the little button is down, and it says subscribe. And when you hit that subscribe button, we promise to deliver you the highest quality of wrestling, sports, and entertainment content that you can possibly fit in your little tiny brain. It's not little. It's probably huge. And that's probably why you get us. But that's okay. All right? Subscribe. Have some fun. Listen. And be like Aaron Rodgers says, RELAX. Relax. And watch us do our thing.
Very good, sir. Very good. You go enjoy dinner. This has been your boy Big Sin. Like he said, subscribe, comment, like, tweet, whatever the fuck you want. You can catch us. Any links that you want to know about us, they're probably somewhere on my page, his Twitch channel, my Twitch channel, my YouTube, his YouTube, my Twitter, what the fuck ever you want to do. It's around here somewhere. But I'm Big Sin. That's J-Blaq, Sinful Black Entertainment. We out this bitch. Peace.